Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Vault Jersey. Joe Archino back here. This is really the final time that I'll be able to be in here to talk about the big day, Super Bowl 50, before it arrives this Sunday. And I've been on throughout the week multiple times. Was in studio for the TV, was in the podcast booth a bunch of times. So I've expressed my thoughts out there, and if you followed any of my content, I think you kind of know I've been on the Carolina Panthers side most of the time, but you know, you always have to be a little bit worried because whenever everybody is on one side, typically that's not the side you want to be on. Look at the AFC Championship game. I mean, everybody was on the New England Patriots side. That did not go the way that everybody thought it was going to. But I think when you look at the Super Bowl, it really comes down to two things. It comes down to the explosive plays, and it comes down to the speed. And both of those things, in my eyes, from everything that I've watched this year, are in the Carolina Panthers' favor. I look at them on the defensive side of the football. I look at them up front with the pass rush that they have and the speed that they have, and then the linebacking core with Luke Kuechly controlling everything, and then Josh Norman who can shut down one side of the field, and then offensively, Cam Newton he is the MVP of the league. He is maybe the most explosive player in football. His ability to evade the pressure and do everything is just incredible. I think you combine those components, and it's very difficult for me to say that the Carolina Panthers are not going to win Super Bowl 50. But with all of that said, the Broncos really have a shot to win this football game, and I want to say it's because of Peyton Manning. I really do. I think when you look at his game against the New England Patriots, the one thing that kept on coming to me time and time again was he played fearless. He played like he had absolutely nothing in the world to lose. And I saw a quote just the other day when I was doing my show prep, and I think it really resonates and really just is a testament in just perfectly says what this Broncos team is right now. And it was, people don't understand who the Broncos are right now. They're tough, resilient, do whatever it takes football team. I truly believe, that is kind of the Broncos in a nutshell. There are veterans on this team, DeMarcus Ware, Peyton Manning, guys who've been battle-tested in the NFL, and I think both those guys kind of look at this game and understand that they might never, ever get a chance to be back here again. Peyton Manning absolutely understands, this is really his last moment of glory to be on the biggest stage imaginable. And I think because of that, I think Peyton Manning sometimes throughout his career has been, had that doubt in the back of his mind, because that's all we've always talked about. Peyton Manning's regular season has never matched up to his postseason play. But in that game against New England, I think you look at him, and he just played that game like he had absolutely nothing to lose. This might have been the last time he ever got to suit up and be on the football field, and you better believe he was going to give it everything that he had. He got crushed some plays against the Patriots. He took some sacks that you could just watch him grimace in pain on the ground, but he ran for a first down. That's not something that we see very often with Peyton Manning. But again, I think you look at that game and just it really says fearless. Peyton Manning played that game fearless. He had nothing to lose. He was just going to give it everything that he had, and that is a scary thing to be going up against. A guy who has nothing to lose, a guy who knows this might be the last time he ever is here, and he's going to give it every ounce of strength that he has. And that's what it really comes down to. Peyton Manning's physical tools, I think, aren't, and we all know, when you get to the age he is, and when you've had the injuries that he has, your physical tools are going to erode. That's just human nature. There's nothing in the world you can do to stop that. Because of that, though, I think that's one of the other factors why you have to go with the Panthers. But you combine the speed of Carolina's defense with the slow Broncos offense, I think those two things are really where the game is going to be won. But I still look at Denver, and you never want to pick against a guy like Peyton Manning when the moment is as big as this, and this might be the last time you ever get to see him. It's difficult to really pick against him, but I think from an X and O standpoint, of course the Carolina Panthers are the choice in this game. But I think you look at everything, and if Denver can pick up the pace on offense, they can play kind of quick, and they let Peyton Manning play free. It could be a very interesting football game. I still am going to stay with Carolina. There's no switching my mind with that, but, I really do think that if they let him play worry-free football, they play a little bit faster, then they're gonna really give Carolina a run to the end. They certainly Carolina's not gonna get off to the fast starts like they did against the Arizonas and against the Seahawks. This is going to be a much different football team. Both teams are going to be prepared for this game. The coaches on both sides are excellent. They're going to have their guys ready to play. This game is going to be won by whoever just outplays the other one. I think all three phases of both teams are as complete as you could get. And the one knock Carolina has, which I think we've all been worried about in waiting maybe for this to bite them, has been the lack of depth of playmakers. Now, the one thing that is made up for that is they're coming into Super Bowl 50 with 31 straight games of over 100 yards of total offense. That's the third longest streak in NFL history. That running game is so difficult to stop. But if anybody can limit that and make it really difficult to get anything substantial off the ground, it is Denver. It is Von Miller. It is DeMarcus Ware. It is those constant, in-your-face pass rushers. He is very difficult to block, and I think Carolina's offensive line is okay, but what really is going to make the difference, again, is the X factor in this game, is Cam Newton's ability. He has such great mobility and awareness in the pocket that Tom Brady is not Cam Newton athletically. He's never been a guy who's been great at sliding his feet and moving in the pocket. He didn't really detect or feel Von Miller on a lot of those plays, and I think if you switch a guy like Cam and a guy like Brady, obviously Cam is going to be able to extend plays longer, and in a game like this against such a fearsome pass rush, that is crucial. I think Carolina just, again, the last point I think you have to make here when you're trying to determine who's going to win this game is the ability, who's going to be better built to play from behind. Let's say Carolina does have to play from behind in this football game. I don't worry about it as much as I would for Denver because we know Ron Rivera, his nickname is Riverboat Ron. He is not afraid to take chances, and he will take chances because he trusts in his team, and I think it's rightfully earned based on everything that they've done this season. But at the same time, you look at the side of the ball with Denver. Let's say Carolina does get out in front with a big lead like they've done so many times this postseason. I mean, you look at what they have offensively, and I just don't think Gary Kubiak has as much flexibility playing from behind because, again, this isn't the most explosive offense. Peyton Manning's physical tools aren't going to allow him to make those consistent big passes down the field, and I think that's what you would need to get back in this game quickly if Carolina really starts to make it ugly. I don't think it will be an ugly game. I do think Denver's defense is going to really help the offense play at the pace that they want to. But at the end of it, the speed on Carolina will be too much. And the Carolina Panthers, of course, win Super Bowl 50. But like I said before, you always have that little doubt in the back of your mind because based on what I saw from Peyton Manning in that game against New England, he played like he had nothing to lose, and that is a very dangerous thing to go up against. But I think we're in store for a really good game. I mean, the build-up has been all week. It's going to be a fantastic game. Again, a lot of us are afraid, and I did hear a lot of that being said, that this Super Bowl might be kind of reminiscent of the Seahawks and the Broncos a couple seasons ago. I would be very surprised if that did happen. Is it possible? Sure, it is. Just because of the physical decline of Peyton Manning's health. And again, these games are going to be won by the better team. But again, the better quarterback also elevates that more than anything. I mean, the quarterback is everything in the NFL. You can't win this big game unless your quarterback is able to bring you consistently and have it hit explosive plays constantly. I think in that matchup, even if Peyton Manning really makes this a battle, Cam Newton's explosiveness is just too much. He can't be contained. I mean, Denver's defense is great, but the mobility of Cam, too much to handle, but I'm very excited for it. Been pretty good with the picks so far this postseason. I was wrong on the Super Bowl last year, so you definitely want to make up for it this season, but I think, we're in store for a great one. Could be an all-timer, and it very well might be the last time we see Peyton Manning take the football field, so enjoy it while it lasts, folks, because I think that's the final point to make here is this will be the end to one of the greatest careers we've ever seen in professional sports. The guy has been all class. He's always done things the right way, and he will be missed. You always have to remember the memories you have of these guys while it lasts, because before you know it, it's all said and done, and when it is, you never know when another one like him will come around again. So enjoy the end of what has been an incredible career this Sunday, and enjoy an incredible game. Until that Monday, we'll be here to recap it all, see if we were right, what went wrong, what happened in that game. We'll be back here to break it all down. But until this Monday, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow my thoughts on Twitter at Joe Archino, on Instagram Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll see you folks after the big game.